And hello there folks, it's me RJB from RJB TV, and today we've got Doromi against the Brain. Two semi-professional players and two very good fastest map players. Arguably, Brain considered to be one of the best, if not the very best player in the world. So let's jump into the game and see how Doromi, who himself is not too shabby, is going to play against the Brain, who's here on the name Didas. Now I want to give a little bit of background information on both of these players, because, you know, background information is fun to know about, and plus we have to fill out these first couple of minutes of this game, because usually not much happens. Although, this is kind of interesting. He's sending a barrack up there into that choke point, might go for a bunker rush. It's going to be a double barracks, I assume. This is a very fun cheese that they do on the normal maps. It's a barrack supply build order. No, he's not going for barrack supply, he's going for barrack supply. So it's kind of an in-between. He's probably gonna go for a refinery. Honestly, not too sure. There's like two options here. Either he goes for a second barracks and tries to go for a bunker rush, or he goes for the refinery, which is right there in the back. It is a refinery build order here from Doromi. Also, just let me add that scrolly thing there on the top. Let me add that scrolly thing on the top. There it is. There's a scrolly thing on the top. Brain against Doromi. Okay. So, I wanted to give a little bit of background information, which I, forgot to give because I got distracted by the barrack there under choke. And yeah, he's gonna find that hatchery there. The hatchery is placed pretty far away from the choke. So that's kind of what... This is pretty much the best thing you can do when you're playing Zerg against Terran and you know that the opponent is Terran. It protects the hatchery from tanks pushing through that choke point. So we have a little bit of a rush here going on. Doromi trying to rush, at least. He tried to rush. He forces Brain to put a lot of drones off the minerals because Brain is expecting a lot more Marines. He might have been expecting a barracks supply build order, but it's a single barracks there from Doromi, and he's going into a factory instead. And Brain, I think Brain by now knows that the amount of Marines is way too low for this to be a double barracks build order from Doromi. And Brain kind of overreacted. He did stop the bunker, he did kill some Marines, did push the SSV back, but he lost so much mining time. He's been slowed down a lot. He's got 9 drones when he should already be on 12 at this point into the game. Zerglings are coming out across the map. They're going to try to do some return damage onto Doromi, but Doromi's got a pretty good wall there to put his Marines behind, and those Zerglings are not going to get through. So Doromi there does a lot of damage to Brain's economy without actually ever attacking Brain straight up. It's just Brain overreacted, which is not something that happens a lot. But Brain, I'm sure of it, was expecting that Doromi did a barracks supply build order. Now we have a vulture already out there for Doromi, and he's getting a triple factory. Well, he's getting one more barracks, actually. It's a double factory in the barracks. So back to the background information about Brain and Doromi. Both Brain and Doromi qualified back during the Kespa days, which is the STARCRAFT competition that ran from like 2005 to 2012. They both qualified for their professional license, which means that they can join a professional STARCRAFT team. But both of them did not join a professional STARCRAFT team, which means that they are just semi-professionals, because they become a full-fledged professional when they join a team. But they're not an amateur anymore because they have that pro license card. So both these players semi-professionals. They didn't get their time to shine until the ASL came around. Doromi qualified for ASL 6, and Brain qualified for ASL 9. Now, Doromi didn't have that much success in ASL 6. He played under the name Tinkle. He kind of got eliminated in the first round, but Brain beat everyone in the first round, Light and Mind, and then beat Sulky in the round of 16, but lost to Action, which puts him in the top 12 of ASL 9, which is highly impressive considering it was his very first ASL, and nobody ever did that in their very first ASL. as a semi-professional. Semi-professionals don't qualify that often for the ASL. It doesn't happen a lot. Anyway, back to the game. This is where we're going to focus on. Brain against Doromi, fighting Terran against Zerg. We have a Star Brother on the way in the back for Doromi. He's on triple barracks. I did not expect this build order from Doromi. I've never seen this build order. I've never seen anyone do this, but this looks really, really cool. This looks a lot like a normal map build order where... Oh, the tanks are a little bit too far into the front. He's gonna take some damage, loses one tank, might lose number 2. Number 2 stays alive, loses a lot of Marines. That was a slight mistake there from Doromi. Not what I was expecting. Not what I was expecting. You do not expect the player with semi-professional experience to make a mistake like that. He does break that sunken, but loses way too many Marines and too many tanks. But Doromi still has the advantage from that early game. The advantage of Brain pulling too many drones and getting slowed down too much. Doromi is in a really good position to push onto Brain. Tries to sneak that Vulture through. The Vulture does not get through, dies. He wanted to kill some drones in the back. He just keeps on trying. Marines are stimming forward. Sunkens are too slow with their morphing. They're going to finish very soon, but the tank's already sieged up. Marines are in the base. Marines are going to run right into the backside and they're going to kill whatever they can. This is a bad situation for Brain, but Mulisks are on the way, and so is Lurker Aspect. Drones are running to safety. He's going to try to snipe whatever he can. He's just attack moving. Just letting those Marines attack whatever they want. And the drones are first, and drones are going down. Mulisks are spawning at the same time, but one of them goes down. Maybe even 2 of them go down. 3 of the Mulisks go down. Just kill all the Mulisks, the Marines in the end, but that was not pretty for Brain. Lost a lot of drones. He had like 26 or 27, now down to 15. That was an almost lethal game-ending strike there from Doromi. And I do think that if Doromi hadn't lost Marines to that choke just earlier, that would have ended the game for sure. So Doromi there made the mistake a little bit earlier that is now allowing Brain to stay alive and hopefully recover. He's going to try to do that Mulisk micro that he's so very good at. It's one of the few things Brain is very good at, and that's micro. Even among all the professional players, his micro used to be really, really good. Really, really good. Particularly good. So one of the professionals told me, I talked to a professional, and he told me that Brain used to have very good Zealot micro. Excellent Zealot micro. Better than anyone else. So he's dancing there on the sides, trying to kill what he can, but Doromi himself, being a semi-professional Terran player, has really good Marine control, and he's keeping those Mulisks away the best he can. He did lose all the SCVs there on the barracks, but that he doesn't care about too much. He's still in the lead. As long as he can prevent those Mulisks from doing significant amounts of damage, he should be winning this game. All he has to do is progress into the late game, have a bigger economy, a bigger army, and he can overrun Brain. But Brain has got something up his sleeves. Brain is called Brain for a reason, because he plays really, really smart. He is the Brain master, and he's already cooking up something really peculiar for Doromi to deal with. He's got lurkers on the way, and he's going to try to break through that choke with those lurkers, or maybe he's going to burrow them up there in the front. But Brain is not sitting around. Brain knows that he has to do damage to Doromi, otherwise he's going to fall behind just because he lost too much in that early game. He has to do some return damage, so he's moving out right here onto the middle. Mulisk Lurker, a combination I've never seen before, but he's going to try to make this work. He's got something in his mind. He's going to try to trap Doromi as Doromi moves out. Mulisk on the side. There's a science facility that's exposed, easy for the taking. Doromi is getting another command center, getting 2 more command centers, in fact, getting a couple more vessels. He's got Radiate, I'm sure, and he's moving towards that front. And, oh, the lurkers get spotted out there by the vessels and the vultures. Radiate's coming down. Lurker's still burrowed up. He's buying as much time as he can, trying to stay around for as long as he can. The radiated lurkers stay burrowed. And sadly, they don't kill a lot of Marines. I think they got like 4, maybe even 3. So the lurkers did not pay for themselves yet. But now 38 drones against 38 SCVs. Economies are about equal. But Doromi still has the bigger economy, he's got detection, and Brain does not have the hive technology finished yet. He's got the hive on the way, but it's not there yet. He's buying as much time as he can. This is really good stuff, really impressive stuff. He's buying a lot of time by retreating small, little, tiny steps every single time. just outside of Siege Tank range. The Mutalisks cannot distract the Marines from the Lurkers too much, and the Marines do take some heavy damage, but the Lurkers retreat towards this choke point. And ooh, another Lurker goes down before it could burrow up, trying to get those vessels there as well. Gets one of them, gets two of them. That's way better than I thought. The Zerglings took fire away from the Scourges. The Marines were focusing on the Zerglings, which meant that, of course, the Scourges can take down the vessels. Really good stuff there from Brain. He's pulling every single little trick from his sleeves that he learned as a semi-professional. He's pulling every single trick to try and stall for time to get the Lurker, the Fighter, up and running. But he only just now finished his hive, and we have Doromi already in the base, and there's one more Lurker there on the scene. Scourge is trying to hunt for those vessels. Marines going in. Oh, gets the Lurker there on the... Oh, no, the Lurker stays alive. The Zerglings are chasing in, going in hard. And the tanks go down, Marines go down. Beautiful push there from Brain. I've never seen someone manage to stay alive in this situation. This is really, really good stuff there. But oh, he took a radiate on the drones, and most of the drones went down. That was a really painful one. Did not have burrow yet. How many kills? 24 drones went down. I think that's the nail in the coffin. I think that is... You simply cannot recover from losing 24 drones at this point into the game against 47 SCVs. Lurkers in the front there, though, a little bit of a sloppy play there from Doromi, losing a lot of units to the Lurkers. He's not noticing. He noticed, but a little bit too late. He was focused on something else. Lost a lot of units there, and now there's no detection. Scan comes in. He's going to lose a lot of those Marines. Oh, the Lurkers are doing big damage, but the Firebats clean it all up. But he lost about half of his army in that fight with those Lurkers. Tesla goes down, but there's nothing here to protect anymore. Everything is dead and gone. Lurkers are spawning there in the back. Firebats are coming in. They're gone. Oh, there's no detection on the scene. Siege is up. Gonna try to hit those drones. A little bit too far away. Going for shots on the Lurkers instead. Firebats coming in. The scan duration ends. Doromi is trying his best, but he's still having a pretty difficult time with how Brain is managing and multitasking. Brain's multitasking this game is simply better than Doromi, but Doromi has got a huge lead in the pocket at the moment. It is impossible to lose in the situation for Doromi. Trying to get both those Lurkers, gets one on the bottom. Oh, the Firebats are so beautiful to watch. You don't really see them that often, but the Firebats are doing a lot of great work here. Killing a lot of the Lurkers and Zerglings. Basically hard countering every single option Brain has on the table right now because Brain is broke. He's trying to stay alive, trying to get those vessels, gets both. Oh, this one stays alive, gets a radiate, tries to split it up. How many does he lose? Just one. Reinforcements on the way. There's one vessel there in the air. Workers are still there, zoning those Marines away. Gonna have to scan this one. Has no scan energy at the moment there though. He thought he had, but he didn't. He thought he had energy, but he didn't. Now there's energy. Gonna try to take that one down. Upgrades for Brain do not exist. They've got actually one there for the Zerglings. How did he get those upgrades being so economically starved? 0-1 there for the Doromi, level 2 on the way for the Marines. Zerglings getting right on top of the tanks and the Marines. His Dark Swarm there doing a lot of work, but he couldn't extend the Dark Swarm a little bit further because that would have probably killed the Marines, or at least forced them to retreat. Unsieges, that one stays alive, has to relocate that tank. Tank gonna go down, Marines on the top side there looking for a way in. Doromi is producing like a madman. He's almost playing on 400 APM. Finds the Fighter Mount at the worst possible time for Brain. That's a Dark Swarm coming up, but the Fighter Mount is gonna go down for sure. Come on, take it down. You can do it, Doromi. You can do it. Oh, he can. Stays alive, but tank sieging up there next to the drones. Drones running away. Drones getting shot to death. They did not survive that shot. Once again, another blow to Brain's economy. This game is very, very messy, but Doromi is trying to outpace Brain, and Brain is keeping up, but Brain doesn't have enough income to keep up. He's doing his best to keep up. It's simply not working. There's just too many things to defend from against Doromi. He's got things going on at the top. Firebats going for the drones yet again, going for the Fighter Mount as well. They're in the front, Lurk killing everything. But everything here in the back from Brain is getting demolished. Lost to the Fighter Mount. He cannot really afford to build a second one, but still has one fighter there in the back. But he needs more drones. But he's not really been allowed to rebuild his drones after losing them not once, not twice, but 3 times so far. I haven't looked at Doromi's base in a while. He's got a lot of barracks. He's going for a lot of Firebat Marine. only 2 factories. This is very much a normal map style Terran against Zerg, where you play marine medic vessels and a couple of tanks in the mix. And surprisingly, it's working. As a battlecruiser, this is pure. This is how you play Terran against Zerg on the normal maps. When you got too much gas, too many minerals, you build some battlecruisers and just send them out to attack. That is what the pros do in Terran against Zerg. When they have too much money, battlecruiser comes across the map and just attacks anything it can, because you have the excess money to build random battlecruisers. Tries to find an opening, gets sealed off. Tries to break the front, gets sealed off. Hunting for the defilers there though, gonna try to snipe them, but the Dark Swarm comes down just in time. Brain is stalling for a lot of time. No, but there's nothing to kill the Marines, and the Spire's gonna go down. Not that he needed the Spire. Oh, that mine killed so much. This is one of the weirdest, but one of the most fun Terrans against Zergs I've ever seen. It's very weird. A lot of weird things are going on. There's so many things going on that are weird. Like, there's small fights all over the place. Doromi is never taking the time to ball up a huge army. He's always sending out small little groups of units to fight and attack. More battlecruisers coming across the map. He just keeps on making them. He's got so much money in the bank. Battlecruisers are the answer. We're gonna run in once again. Gonna take down those drones. It's a miracle Brain is still alive at this point. It's a miracle. But I think he's gonna call GG right here, right now. Oh, nope. No, he does not. The drones stay alive, but there's a lot more firebats coming in. And just Doromi keeps attacking the left side, the bottom side, the back side. He's always changing his targets. And now those Zerglings do not stand a chance against his firebats with level 2 attack. Gonna run in yet again for those drones. He's gonna get on top. He's gonna burn them to a crisp. It's barbecue time, but no, they stay alive. A couple of them did go down, but this left side is where all the drones are. But one firebat there is still running about. Another battlecruiser just coming in to kill whatever they can. Gonna go for the Spire yet again. This is... Brain is just slowly getting overpowered, but it is so impressive how he's managed to stay alive. I've never seen someone stay alive quite like this, but there's just too much to deal with. Just too much to deal with. Gets the last... Well, we've got a couple more defilers, actually. But this time around, the drones do go down. The firebats have done their job. It's GG, and there goes the Hylas Den. You can only make Zerglings right from this point onwards. And those Zerglings are not going to do much. The battlecruisers are having a field day, killing whatever they can, whatever is exposed, or whatever is not protected by the Dark Swarm. Brain calls GG, that's game number 1, and that was an intense one. A crazy one. Things happening all over the place, pretty much all the time. Doromi never took the time to build a big army, but he didn't have to. He didn't have to build a big army. All he had to do was just keep sending out units all the time to choke Brain out. Just small little bits of damage piling up that entire game from start to finish. Brain had some really good moves. Brain had some really good responses and had some really good smart setups and adaptations left and right. But things just were not quite enough. But we have a game number 2. We have a game number 2 on our hands. Brain here on the green Zerg, top right of the map. And Doromi again on the Terran, bottom left of the map. It's yet again a Terran against Zerg. My mouse is tripping out, so excuse me for that one. Okay. So the last game was a little bit crazy and intense. The game went all over the place. It was all over the place. It was hard for me to keep track. Because I wanted to look at what Doromi was doing in his base at home, but he was always attacking Brain with small armies. But those small armies were continuously managing to slightly get a tiny little bit of an advantage over Brain with every single little move he made. They weren't clean. He was losing a lot of his Marines, but he did not care about losing them. He just wanted to do small little bits of damage. Because when you have a big economy as a Terran, losing your Marines does not matter. You can just make new ones. But when the Zerg has a small economy and is hurting, every single thing they lose is relatively a bigger loss to the Zerg than to the Terran. So the Terran can at that point afford to not play clean. They just have to do damage. They just gotta hit the Zerg and keep the Zerg small, and Doromi did an amazing job at exactly that. And the battlecruisers even did something, which is very rare in fastest map Zerg against Terran. Battlecruisers in fastest map should not really do much unless you're playing Terran against Terran, but against Protoss or against Zerg, they should not really be allowed to do much of anything at all, because there's a lot of options to counter the battlecruiser. There's Arbiters, there's Storms, and then you have, of course, Dark Swarm, you have the Varus for Zerg, and you have the Plague. There's just so many things that really absolutely destroy battlecruisers in both the technology options for Zerg and Protoss. So Brain here goes for a non-choke build order. He's not taking the risk from last game again, because last game things didn't go too well. So he goes for double hatchery pull into a gas. It's going to be Zergling speed coming up next. Maybe he's going to go for a lair first. Maybe it's going to be a lair first. He sees the SFE walking into his base, so it's time for a creep colony to come up and get morphed. There's Zergling speed on the way. A couple Zerglings are being built. And here back at home in Doromi's base, we went for double barracks. I've seen him do this build order before. Double barracks into a very fast factory, maybe 2 factories. I do not think he's going to go for the fast academy, but he might just go for the fast academy. But one thing I want to say in this game is, though, that because Doromi is on the bottom left of the map and Brain on the top right, the traveling distance from across the map is simply too long for Doromi to really put on a strong, dominating performance over Brain in the early game. There's just too much time spent walking across the map that gives the Zerg so much time to prepare and respond, but also to have more defenses ready. When the traveling time is short, Terran is stronger than if the traveling time is too long. And right now the traveling time is too long. Brain going for a cheesy Zergling surround move, getting on top of the bunker and top of the Marines. He's going to go for a counter attack. He saw everything happening there with a vision from the Overlords. Kills all the Marines, and Doromi is forced to retreat really quick and set up some proper defenses. He has... well, Brain doesn't know where Doromi is, and he's going the wrong direction. He's actually going into the wrong direction. If he knew where Doromi was on the map, those Zerglings could have done some realistic amount of damage, but right now, the fire bats are finished up, we have medics on the way, and we have stim almost finished up. Plus, Doromi is building structures to kind of make it hard for Brain to micro into and surround those units. So Brain returns back to the middle. He's been droning up while this is happening. Finished his lair, got a Hylos Den finished up as well, getting a Lurker aspect, getting a Queen's Nest. He's going to go for a very fast hive into a very fast Defiler Mound. And he's going to probably send some Lurkers across the map to support the Zerglings into a push onto Doromi's base. Now Doromi went for a very fast Science Vessel, getting a Radiate already. He's got a Vulture coming out soon as well, didn't get Siege Mode, didn't get a Siege Tank, he's getting a Science Vessel instead and going for a 4 barrack production. This is again looking a lot like a normal map Terran against Zerg composition, and I've never really seen anyone do this specifically. Doromi is just showing up with really interesting and weird build orders. And I'm not sure what to expect because I haven't seen them yet. So this is all new to me. Like, I've not seen these things happen in a Terran against Zerg. I've seen things that look similar though. But this specifically, with these details, with the plans he's got in mind, I haven't seen them. Marines pushing across with fire bats and medics. Zerglings are going to try to maybe sneak by, or go for a backstab attack once the Lurkers are set up and burrowed up, and the Marines are right on top of them. Brain is going to try to surprise the Doromi's army and then go for a counterattack. That's my prediction. Medics out in front. Marines in the back, fire bats waiting. The vessel is going to scout ahead. The vessel is going to scout ahead and finds the Lurkers. So Doromi knows not to send his Marines into the danger zone without detection, without scouting first. The The Zerglings are going for a counterattack. Marines stepping backwards. They're going to have to run to the bunker really quick before the Zerglings can surround them. Brain's going to try to surround the Marines, but he gets into the bunker just in time. Just in time. Very close call. If he had managed to stop the Marines from entering the bunker, he could have done real big and bad amounts of damage. And it looks like the Vessel is in the back doing a radiate, but he split up the drones and killed the... Oh, no, he's going for it again. He had a second radiate. Kills his own drones to stop the radiate from killing his own drones. Really good move. The hive is finished up. The Fatherman on the way. 29 drones, 5 hatchers in total, and getting a spire as well. On the middle, the Vessel returns to the Marines. Going to probably try to push forward, but there's 4 lurkers, a lot of Zerglings. Does not look like the Marines and Firebats can push through those lurkers, and I think the Rom knows. He's going to check first with the Vessel to see what's up. Might throw a radiate down on one of the lurkers to soften up the numbers a little bit. He's got level 1 attack finished up for his Marines, I think. Actually, it's on the way, not yet finished up. We've got Overlord Speed, they're on the way for Brain, getting Hatcher number 6. The final amount finished up, getting Consume. Things are looking really good for Brain this game. Also, a couple more lurkers are in the front. He's got 7 of them there in total. These Marines are never ever gonna break through. Vessels are not gonna break through either because we have Scourges in the air to take them down. Tank there gonna set up across the hill. He needs some detection for the lurkers. We have the Defiler finished up with Consume, almost finished up as well, which means we're going to seal off the entrance and get ourselves the Dark Swarm lurker defense. And Brain, seeing the siege tank with the Overlord, puts his lurkers right next to the hill, and that tank is gonna get destroyed. The attention to detail in Brain's play is... I do not think anyone else has this attention to detail and awareness and multitasking. I think Brain is an entirely unique player in that regard. An entirely unique player. So the Marines are in a stalemate. We're in a stalemate. He needs tanks, he needs vessels. But he didn't build a lot of factories. He's still building more barracks, but I do not think that the Marine vessel strategy is really that strong on fastest map. We did see it have success last game, but that was because Brain was playing from behind. Always looking for a dropship play. Gonna fly into that Overlord there though, and we do have 2 Scourges there on the bottom side ready to take down those dropships. And we have 2 on the top, none at the back. He's gonna oh, Brain actually missed it. Brain goes for the middle attack there. Marines are in the base, Firebats as well. This might be very ugly. We have lurkers returning back home, Zerglings as well, Scourges in the air to snipe whatever they can, but there's nothing in the air to kill. And now the Marines are in the base, killing whatever they can. There's a Dark Swarm there. Dark Swarm's protecting against the Marines, but the Firebats is still in the mix. Firebats, drones are running away. Can he get any of the drones with the Firebats? No, he cannot. Firebats are still running about, but they can't hit the drones, chasing them down. Marines are killing whatever they can. This is a really good move here from Doromi. I'm really impressed. This is really good. But it's not going to do as much damage as you would have wanted. You killed a lot of things right there in the back, but not as much as you wanted. And most of the drones do stay alive, so Brain handled that like a champion. That could have been much, much worse. Plus, the bigger thing here is that he pushed the ROM away from this choke point. Mines are being placed there though. He's still only on triple gas, getting more barracks still. Getting on more command centers as well. He's on 46 SCVs at the moment because he only had 1 command center earlier. He's now built a second one. There's number 3, probably going to get number 4 as well. We have dropships coming in yet again, but they get sniped out of the air by the Scourges. More dropships coming in. There's a lot of dropships, a lot of Marines, a lot of medics, but he's unloading into an active enemy army, and everything is going to get absolutely destroyed by the Zerglings and the Hydralisks. He loses a lot of supply without actually killing anything. So this game, the ROM's strategy is not quite working out. He's playing this a lot like how you would play on the normal maps. And I do not think that Terran against Zerg on fastest map can be played is how you would play it on the normal maps. So there's a little bit of a disconnect between what Doromi is doing and what he has to do. The Brain is, well, he's got 50 drones, the economies are equal at the moment, and their production is about equal as well. I'd say right now, when the Zerg gets about the same amount of supply as the Terran, the game is looking very good for the Zerg. In Terran against Zerg on fastest, you always want to have the supply lead as the Terran. You never want to fall behind the supply, and look at that, the supply is exactly the same. Which means Brain is in a very good situation to win the game. Doromi has to set up a situation where he is in control really, really fast. He's getting more drones now, more Marines now, more Firebats, more SCVs. He needs a bigger economy. He's only on triple gas. He's got 4 starports, 3 factories. He's getting the armories are on the top side. He's got the Marine upgrades that are going as well. He's got a good Marine upgrades because he's relying on Marines very, very hard. Very strongly. He's got 1-1 there. The Ultalisk have level 1 attack finished up. Carapace is on the way. Lurkers in the front, they're getting radiated. Let me just see the upgrades for the Zerglings. 1 Carapace, 1 attack. He does not have just Lurkers, actually. They're right there. No Lurker attack upgrades yet. It's all on the Ultras and the Zerglings. So very interesting composition coming out there from Brain. Now in 67 drones, he's getting richer pretty quick. Brain is doing a good job buying time. We have the Battlecruiser in the front. It killed the Filer, but we have Scourges coming in to kill the vessels, and the vessels are too far in the front. Easy target to take down. Good tanks beyond the hill to make it difficult for Brain to push through this choke point. But what's this? It's a Lurker drop, but he flies right into the Marines. He's gonna unload right here. He's gonna cut off reinforcements. While that is happening, Doromi is going for the attack himself. Marines are entering Brain's base, but Brain has a lot of Lurkers there in the back to protect himself from this advancement. Gets a great Dark Swarm there, and at the same time, Lurkers are walking all the way through Doromi's base. Doromi seals off that path. Is there a path forward here for Brain? Actually, ooh, that was close. That Lurker was within range to hit those SCVs, but it died just in time. But now we got Dark Swarm Lurker there inside this pathway, and actually there's no Lurkers left underneath that Dark Swarm, so Doromi just has to push through with the Firebats. It was a really good move from Brain, but it was just short of working for Brain. Doromi, though, still has a smaller economy, smaller supply, and now Ultalisk are coming across the map. He's got radiates in those vessels to put on those Ultalisk, but the Ultalisk have level 4 Carapace now. They're very, very strong. And the Marines still only have level 2 attack. And now the attack there from Brain is coming. He's at the point where he can produce non-stop all the time and send an army across the map. And Doromi realizes it's over. Like, there's too many Ultalisks, and he only has Marines, Vultures, no medics, and no more science vessels because they're getting hunted down by the Scourges. One of these is going to stay alive, and the other 2 are going to die. So Brain there with a very beautiful and smart game. Doromi too far away, went for a strategy that arguably wasn't the right one. It was trying something that was more closer to a normal map strategy than a fastest map strategy. And it just did not work out as he had in mind. It just did not work out as he had in mind. But it was really fun to watch. That dropship drop almost got Brain. The Firebats, the Medics, and the Marines with the double dropships that managed to sneak in while Brain was pushing forward through the choke point, that almost got Brain's head. It almost got him. It was very close. The Firebats were almost killing the drones. It was very, very close. So game number 3, Doromi against Brain. The score is 1-1. This is going to be the final showdown. We have Brain here on the name, Batidas on the purple Zerg, and Doromi on the blue Terran on the top of the map. And he's going to go for the same build order as in the first game? He's not. He's going to go for an actual bunker rush. We finally have the very fearsome bunker rush build order here from Doromi. Barracks in the exact middle of the map. And the question becomes, is Brain gonna... What's Brain gonna do? I'm not sure what Brain is gonna do. It somewhat puzzles me. Usually nobody ever makes their Overlord before the hatchery, but Brain made the Overlord before the hatchery. That is an interesting one. I've not seen anyone do it before. But it's Brain, so he has something in his mind as to why he would go for an Overlord before the hatchery. It's double hatchery. And Overlord there flying to the front. He sees that SCV. I think he saw the SCV. Doromi is scouting the map. Now, if Doromi was right next to Brain and he found Brain right here, right now, he could kill Brain. So Brain is getting away with a little bit of luck here. He's getting a little bit lucky. He's not getting just a little bit lucky, he's getting very lucky, because Doromi is going to find Brain on the very last scouting location. The very last one. Or at least one of the last ones. And the Marines and SCVs would already be there to build a bunker. And the bunker would almost be finished up. And Brain would be defending himself with his drones right now. But Brain will have Zerglings very soon. Brain is loving this. He's getting away with a lot of luck. He should be taking a lot of damage right now, but he's taking none damage. No damage. None of it. He's taking none at all. This is really lucky. But luck is part of STARCRAFT. Sometimes things just do not go as you want them to. Sometimes the enemy rock, paper, scissored into a good build order. So the bunker is under construction, but the Zerglings are almost finished with morphing. The Sunken is also on the way. He might get some damage on the pool, but he shouldn't be able to kill anything at all except a couple of Zerglings. Bunker finishes up. SCVs are in the back. Spaced out really well, but the Zerglings are going for a counterattack. That pool might go down. The pool probably will not go down, actually. He's got more Zerglings finishing up. He might try to go for a kill, might try to go for a counterattack. Finds the barracks there on the middle, so he knows what's going on. Barracks get lifted up, more Zerglings are spawning. He's going to try to kill the bunker there with support from the Sunken. Oh, back. Oh, the micro is so good. The micro is so good. Oh, he kills almost all the Zerglings. Wow, that was really good Marine bunker SCV micro. I mean, it's something that all the pros and semi-pros have in their arsenal of skills, but seeing it right there, the unload, the reload, the unload and reload, the repair, everything at the same time happening all at once, that was really good stuff. That is how you recognize professional micro skills. That's how you recognize it. Right there, the bunker Marine micro. So, more hatcheries on the way. Brain knows at the moment that Doromi does not have a lot to fight, which is true. Doromi does not have a lot to fight. He's going for more barracks, which in this situation is the exact correct response. Because Brain is going for a lot of Zerglings. Brain is going for a lot of Zerglings. Doromi does not know. But Doromi does know that Brain spent a lot of his larvae, a lot of his minerals on making Zerglings. Trying to go in for a surround, goes for the attack, trying to sneak by, gets a good surround there. That's way too many Zerglings to fight into. The fire vest cannot get healed by the medics. He kills everything really quickly, and now there's Zerglings in the base and nothing at all to defend. Couple Marines spawning. Marines are in between the barracks trying to micro them as best as he can. With more Zerglings come across the map, the medics are trying to block, as if he's trying to block, but everything is dying. Everything is dying, but he has 5 barracks and fire vests spawning. They're going to try to clean up the base, but first he's losing SCVs left and right. He's getting attacked, he's taking damage. This is exactly what Brain needs to come back into the game. This is the exact right course of action Brain had to take to make a comeback. Doromi just lost his entire army, and I think about 6 or 7 SCVs. He got slowed down a lot. That really took a lot out of him. And Brain, who went for 5 hatcheries, now has the ability to just make a lot of drones and get his economy rolling really, really quick downhill and snowball into a very big, rich bank. The minerals are going to keep flowing in, and there's not much he has to do to keep that cash flow rolling at maximum output. 6 barracks though. 6 barracks. Moving into the middle. Brain might be trying to go for yet another sneak by, but finds some of those rigs on the side, pulls them away. Now the other ones are trying to sneak through, but nope. Doromi has got the front door sealed off. It's got the front door sealed off. I think this game might just become the best one in the series. I mean, Game 1 was great. Game 2 was also really, really cool to watch. It's very different from the usual, but this is very good stuff. Very good stuff. So come across the map. Brain gonna sneak by yet again. Kill those Marines are in the front, but more are spawning, running back. He's stimming to the fire bats. Yeah, that's not gonna work. But now, Doromi, with almost double the supply, is walking right into the hornet's nest. Right into the cave of the bear. Right into the jaws of the monster. There's Sunkens though. Brain is building a lot of Sunkens very close to each other because he knows that Doromi does not have tanks. He only got Marines. He's building factories inside of Brain's base actually. Brain going for a spire and a queen's nest. He's gonna go for guardians, I'm sure of it. He's getting a Hydra's Den as well. Wait, did he cancel the spire? I think he canceled the spire. That's interesting. So Brain trying to push forward there with the Sunkens. Do we have a range on the Marines? Nope, does not look like he's going for the attack. No, he's not going for the attack. He's not going for the attack. Brain is trying to push his Sunkens towards the factories to force the factories to lift up backwards and fly away, which would buy him time against tanks in siege mode. But Doromi is going to try to brute force the construction of the factories inside of Brain's base. He's going to try to brute force it and use the Marines to push the Sunkens away. But there's so many Sunkens. There's just so many Sunkens. This is not going to work. This is not going to work. This is really crazy stuff. I've never ever seen this happen. Ever. Like, what the hell am I watching? This is so different, but so great and cool. But I really think Doromi bit off more than he can chew. A lot of Marines are coming in though. They're just pushing forward. They don't care about the Sunkens. There's medics in the mix. Stim and range on the Marines. Level 1 attack on the way. Siege mode, will it finish? That is the big question. And then another question is, will the tank that spawns from the factory, will it escape the Sunkens in time? Because there will be a lot of Sunkens hitting that tank. There they go, when he gets out of there just in time. Nope, it goes down. Couldn't get out in time. Turrets are on the way, he's making detection and anti-mutalisk measures. Siege mode almost finished up. And when the siege mode is there, you can start pushing onto the Sunkens. But we have a hive in the back. Lurker aspect is finished and lurkers are on the way. There's no vessel on the scene, he's relying on detection from the turrets. And there's also no scan in Doromi's base. He went for one command center. Tanks are sieging up, turrets are getting taken down on the side. Is Brain going to try to kill this army, or is he going to go for a counterattack? He's hiding his entire army here on the left. Is he going to go? He's going to go and kill the Marines and the tanks. There's a lot of lurkers. They're on the scene. Marines are just too easy to kill for the lurkers. There's no detection on the scene. He's got one turret there in the back. Turret there is too far away to protect the Marines. When the Marines got absolutely destroyed, and so did the tanks and factories being forced to lift up the wrong bit of more than he could chew. Brain responded to that exactly as he should have. And I'm not sure anyone else would have defended this from Doromi. I'm not sure anyone else would have defended this attack from Doromi, but Brain finds a way. I'm not sure how he managed to think of this, that he had to defend like this. I'm not sure how he came to this conclusion, but it's working. It's working, and it's amazing to watch. Marines retreating yet again. He built a wall with factories, but the factory wall does not really do much. He's keeping his own Marines and tanks trapped in Brain's base. And now Brain has broken free. It's time to kill Marines steaming across the map. Gonna try to get those lurkers before they can burrow up, but the lurkers turn around and burrow up just in time. Marines are splitting up, running away, and killing the Zerglings. Do we have scan in the back? He's building double command center. They get double scan. He's got science facility on the way, factories in production as well. He's got one starport. He is preparing detection as fast as he can, but in the meantime, he's using his Marines to keep Brain from entering the middle. Brain has secured his own base. He's got full control over the front with double lurker Dark Swarm, getting more hatcheries, now putting his drones to work on the gas. This is a certified absolute banger of a match. A lot of crazy things have happened already, and I think the more crazier things are still on the menu. Double scan on the way. Brain is getting Plague, he's got Consume, he's got Burrow on the way as well, getting Air Carapace. I think he's got Overlord Speed on the way as well, getting Ground Carapace as well. He's getting pretty much everything he needs at the same time. Because the economy is pretty big from that 5 hatchery at the start, while fighting with the Zerglings to keep the ROM away from his base. The ROM scans that choke point, running through, but he's gonna run right into the lurkers there, but puts those Marines back on hold at a safe distance. He's going in yet again. Do we have Dark Swarm? Oh, there's too many lurkers. There's too many lurkers, and there's the Dark Swarm. Marines are not gonna do it. He tried to break through right before the Dark Swarm could come down, but couldn't quite kill the lurkers. I think he killed 1, maybe 2, but there were still 3 more on the scene. And yeah, this game, the ROM is gonna go harder on the tanks. He's a couple more SCVs. He's got triple command center, producing SCVs. But he's a little bit behind on the economy compared to Brain. Brain is a little bit bigger, but the ROM is getting more factories, more starports. He knows that the Marines are probably not gonna do it. Great Plague there. Marines forced to retreat. Brain pushing forward. No detection there from the ROM. He's got no scan energy at the moment. He's got level 1 attack finished up there for the Marines. Level 1 armor on the way. Scans. Gonna try to kill as many lurkers as he can, but the Zerglings come in to buy some time. And one lurker stays alive. Marines in the middle have been forsaken. They're dead and gone. Zerglings are on the top side to stop the construction of turrets. Brain has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 hatcheries. And getting an Ultalisk Cavern as well. He's got triple Evo Chamber for all the upgrades. Did not get a Great Aspire. Got Spores on the top, the front, and the sides. And a lot of lurkers are on the middle. It's time to go and push those Marines away. It's time to go. Great Plague. Marines retreating. Microing. Oh, he's just gonna let them die. He's just gonna let them die. He knows those Marines are dead and gone. He's going to switch over into tanks, but the ROM is still a little bit behind on Brain. The ROM is focusing on his micros and production so much that he's not consistently making SCVs non-stop. He's on 50. Brain on 68. It's quite a difference. Trying to put some mines in between, but can't quite get those mines up and running. Gets a scan, killing some lurkers, but there's a Dark Swarm. A lot of things are happening yet again. The ROM really has amazing multitasking. His minerals are always low. He's always producing at lightning speed, but he doesn't have enough income to match Brain's progression into the future. He's on 150 supply. Brain is at the point where he's too big to kill, too big to handle. Brain has become a fearsome monster at this stage. Tank setting up. Gets to the Defiler. Trying to sneak through, trying to place mines, but there's too many lurkers back and fro. Gonna have to use his scan to kill those lurkers there before another Defiler shows up and protects them. And there's the protection. The mine kills the Defiler though, so the mines did do something after all. They did do something after all. Barracks is getting lifted up and flown to the sides. Same for the engineering base very soon on 57 SCVs right now. 4 armories. Does he have upgrades for the tanks already? 0, 0. We have 1, 1 for the lurkers. We have Ultralisks on 3-1. They come with 3 armor from the Ultralisk Cavern upgrade. And he's got a lot of units that are in those Overlords. He's going to go for a drop while Doromi is trying to take over the middle. We have stuff flying across the map there though. Oop. Oh! Did he find them? Did he find the Overlords? I don't think he saw them, but he has mines placed all over the place to detect Overlords trying to fly across. So he should be able to respond in time with the Valkyries. He's got all 8 of them. Might get a couple more for a total of 12. 61 SCVs. He can't mine from these 4, so he only has 6 gas available. Might if he got a proxy base for more gas, and there's an attack into the middle. It's Lurkers without speed. It's Lurkers with Carapace upgrade, but Zerg is in the mix as well. Getting a Dark Swarm there right on top of the tanks. Tanks are being forced to retreat. Lurker Dark Swarm there progressing forward. Doromi losing supply pretty rapidly. And the Overlord drop there on the side is going undetected. Doromi is too focused, microing on the middle. Gets the Defiler. Valkyries did not respond. He really did not see the Overlords. He did not see them. The Valkyries can kill them, but he doesn't know about them. They're going straight for the kill. Brain there with the double layered attack. The distraction on the middle and the real deal coming in right here, right now to end this series once and for all. He's going to start it. Oh, Valkyrie's coming in just in time. No, not on time. He unloads. There's, oh, not on time. Doromi knows it's over. Calls GG. The Dark Swarm came down. He couldn't quite kill the Overlords in time. He noticed too late. He responded immediately. As soon as the Overlord showed up on the side, he moved within the blink of an eye. But the Valkyries were too far away on the middle. Could not arrive on time, and Brain takes home the game in a very intense back and forth, all over the place, Terran against Zerg best of 3. Thanks for watching. It was RGB for RGB TV. I hope you liked this as much as I did. I was absolutely dumbfounded and flabbergasted and impressed. I can't find the words to describe the craziness of these 3 games.